Friends, in this video, we are going to study what are the input characteristics and what are the output characteristics in case of the transistor configurations. We know that there are three configurations of the BJT transistor: common base, common emitter, and common collector. And here, each configuration is having the input characteristics, set of input characteristics, set of output characteristics. So, what is input characteristics? It is actually the input VI characteristics. As we know that VI characteristics means graph of the current versus voltage. We know that the independent parameter we show on x-axis, dependent parameter on y-axis, and in between voltage and current, the voltage is independent parameter. Based on voltage, there will be a flow of current. Hence, the current, which is dependent parameter, it is shown on y-axis while the voltage is shown on x-axis. So obviously, input characteristics is the graph of input current on y-axis versus input voltage on x-axis. What is output characteristics? Output characteristics is the graph of output current on y-axis versus output voltage on x-axis. Now let us consider, say, common base configuration. In common base configuration, the common terminal is the base terminal. Out of remaining two terminals, those are emitter and collector. The collector is having more area, so that is why output terminal is collector, input terminal is the emitter. Now if you consider the input characteristics of common base configuration, obviously it is the graph of input current on y-axis versus input voltage on x-axis. So here in common base configuration, which is the input current? IE is the input current. So that is why the input characteristics y-axis of common base configuration, it will be the IE, and versus it is input voltage. So what is input voltage here? Input voltage, it is VEB. So that is why it is VEB in volt, then IE in milliampere. So this is nothing but the input characteristics of common base configuration, and here you will get the characteristics by performing the experiment, and you will find in any literature, in any book. So here you'll get the different characteristics for different sets, and you'll get these different characteristics, input characteristics. These are drawn at the constant output voltage. These are drawn at constant output voltage. So here the output voltage in common base configuration, it is VCB. So that is why you'll get the different characteristics. I'm drawing here roughly the first characteristics for first value of VCB, second characteristics for second value of VCB, likewise, right? So what is input characteristics? Input characteristics is the graph of input current on y-axis versus input voltage on x-axis at constant output voltage. So for each value of constant output voltage, you will get the different input characteristics. Now second, what are output characteristics? Output characteristics is the graph of output current on y-axis versus output voltage on x-axis, and these characteristics are drawn at constant input current, not voltage, right? So if you consider common base configuration, in common base configuration, the output characteristics you'll get like this, right? On y-axis you are having output current. Output current here, it is IC in milliampere. Then what is the output voltage? It is VCB in volt, right? And here you'll get the output characteristics for different values of input current. So here input current is I1, I2, I3. You will get the different values of characteristics. I am drawing here, I am showing here the rough characteristics, right? So you will get first characteristics, second characteristics, third characteristics. One is for I1, second is for I2, third is for I3. I hope you have understood the concept of input characteristics and output characteristics of transistor. Thank you.